Most of us know Everest is the highest mountain on Earth, reaching about 29,000 feet above sea level. What most don't know is it is not the tallest. Because we typically measure a mountain's height by elevation, Everest is often referred to as the tallest, even though there are several taller if we were to measure them from base to summit. And in North America, among the 600-mile stretch of mountains known as the Alaska Range, is a mountain called Denali, whose base rests just 2,000 feet above sea level, but rises 18,000 feet to its peak, making it almost a mile taller than Everest, and one of the most striking things you will ever see. But it wasn't always this majestic peak we see now. It began life as nothing more than a giant blob of granite, who thanks to some fun quirks of geology, found itself rising to astounding heights. Denali first began to take shape about 56 million years ago through the collision of tectonic plates. As the more dense oceanic plate slips beneath the North American plate in a process called subduction, it pushes the land upward, causing the uplift of the entire Alaska Range. While this is pretty standard mountain building, there's another key to Denali's massive height, which is its location along the Denali Fault, which sits on the border where the two plates meet. The fault arcs smoothly across south-central Alaska until just north of Denali, where it takes an abrupt turn. While it may not look like much, this sudden 22-degree bend creates a bottleneck where rocks begin piling on top of each other, exaggerating and accelerating the natural mountain building process. And while all this is going on, the oceanic crust is still being subducted, plunging deep beneath the Earth's surface where it is being destroyed, and molten rock is being created. As we know, this molten rock, or magma, can sometimes rise to form a volcano. But in the case of Denali, a large blob of molten rock starts to rise, only to cool into a large blob of solid granite before ever reaching the surface. The granite, being less dense than the surrounding rock, continues its rise to the surface. And because granite is also highly resistant to erosion, as millions of years of ice, water, and wind were whittling away the materials around it, the breathtaking beauty of Denali began to take shape. And while Denali has become a touchstone for travelers and adventurers of all kinds, all of it pales in comparison to what the mountain has meant to the area's native people, for whom it is more than just a pretty sight, but a place of intense cultural and spiritual significance. Something which made it all the more special when in 1913, a native Athabascan by the name of Walter Harper became the first person to set foot on Denali's summit. A summit which represents the deep connection him and his ancestors have shared with this land for thousands of years.